Awesome. All right, what's poppin'? Everybody, welcome to day 2 of the FNB Hackathon 2025. Extraordinary. I'd like to greet all of you extraordinary geeks, creatives. Listen, man, I often say that oftentimes when we look at, the most powerful people, in the economy, we oftentimes point at, people in the political space and government, but it's you guys, path makers, game changers, technology to bring about innovative solutions to the real world problems that people are facing in this world. So I hope you guys are really proud of the work that you guys are doing as young individuals, literally making an impact and a difference in today's society. Right, cool. So today is day 2 of this beautiful hackathon. We are live right now on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and as well as LinkedIn. That is the app of the year, right? YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn. So this is extraordinary, man. We have over 6,500 participants participating in this year's hackathon. That's 351 teams representing all of 9 provinces. We'll also have people from Botswana, Eswatini, Zimbabwe, and other countries in this beautiful continent and this beautiful space. Listen, guys, please be active on social media in these next couple of days. Don't forget to hashtag FNB AOTY Hackathon. That is hashtag FNB AOTY Hackathon. We also love to see your workspace environment. I know for sure that, you geeks like to show off your computers, your gadgets. Please, let us see your workspace environment. Take pictures, post online, show us the sunset, the sunrise. Let us know that you guys are constantly working in these next 2 days. They say the early bird catches the worm. So let's see what you guys have been up to on social media. I promise that I will be looking at those social media posts myself. All right, guys. So let's give a huge recap on the extraordinary first day that we had, right? Yesterday, Friday, we were live at 22 on Sloan. We had an extraordinary introduction to the hackathon proceedings. We also spoke about the importance of the platform, which is a hackathon. Why is it important for you guys to participate in the hackathon? But not only that, I was joined by an extraordinary, hackathon alumni. I had Simpiwa Radebe, I had Tsetsi, and I had my brother Skinny. We really did speak about the power of a hackathon. And also we had sponsors from FNB who were there just to give you guys support on this beautiful journey that you guys are about to take in this hackathon. But also Mr. Tiane, spoke on the importance of this hackathon and also what's required from you guys. So I hope you guys really did enjoy the first day. It's not just about the delicious food that we eat, but it's about the gathering of young minds that are coming together to also network and utilize and maximize the power of, the hackathon. That is what we are doing best. All right, so let us now look into the importance of the problem statements that Diane really spoke about yesterday. So I hope that you guys were well aware on the 5 problem statements that you guys have to be working on in these next couple of days, right? So we're looking to jobs and the economy resilience, right? Secondly, we have infrastructure and the essential services. Thirdly, we have inequality and social cohesion. Fourthly, we look into climate resilience and food security. And fifth, we have public safety and gender-based violence. For more information on these problem statements, please do go at the App of the Year website under the Hackathon category, where you guys can go in depth on the problem statement that you guys have to look into. But also, the most amazing thing that we spoke about yesterday with Simpiwe in the panel discussion, all right, he emphasize the importance of problem statements. A lot of you guys oftentimes bypass the problem statements, but, if there isn't a need for your solution, then, it won't really be impactful or make business sense. So please do pay attention specifically to these problem statements and also have a beautiful solution that can help with the challenges that people are facing right here in the world. All right, cool. So now let's look at the key requirements that you guys have to look into for the hackathon. So firstly, no static websites, right? We're not looking for no mock-ups. They're not allowed. No WordPress websites, right? Presentation desk must include links to your apps and also include demo accounts, your details for the login details for the judges, with login details for the judges. But also, this may include technical documentations on the architecture. All right, so let's look into the proceedings of not just today, but also tomorrow, right? I know that we have a jam-packed schedule that you guys need to really do keep an eye out. So, first and foremost, we're going to be looking into, a zone where you guys are snapping pictures, of your workspace environment. We'll be looking into social media and what you guys are doing, how you guys are waking up in the morning, posting those beautiful pictures of the sunrise. We need to know that you guys are effectively working throughout the course of the day, right? So from 9 until 9:30, we are live with the hackathon check-in and sessions. Of course, my name is Karabo Mhule as the MC, giving you guys the proceedings of, today and as well as tomorrow. And then from 9:30 today until 9:45, we'll have an extraordinary individual, Rob McLaren, the CEO of the App Developer Studios, who will be taking us to what makes a brilliant app. So he'll be speaking on the importance of what makes a brilliant app, right? And then from 9:45 until 10:15, we'll have a panel discussion. I'll be joined by Kit Van Ziel, and of course, as well as Rob McLaren. We'll be speaking about, turning your app into a viable tech business, right? So not just an idea, but we translate that idea into an MVP, a prototype, a minimum viable product. All right, then from 10:15 until 10:30, we'll have the closing of today's proceedings by yours truly. And of course, from 12:45 up until 2 o'clock today, you guys will be hacking, working on those solutions, building upon those solutions with your teams, literally online. And also, guys, don't forget, if you have any questions, do put them through on Sonke or on the platforms. You'll have mentors that will be assisting you guys on every step that you guys are taking through the next couple of days. And then from 2 o'clock until 5 o'clock, you guys will be stepping into your war rooms with your teams and mentors. It's important for you guys to really access the war room so the mentors can know if you guys are still in the scope of the problem statements that they are looking for. Sometimes you guys can divert and, be working on something that's not really, important. So the war rooms are important for mentors to check in whether you guys are still in the parameters of what's required from you guys. So that's from 2 until 5, it's the war room, so please do take note of that. And then from 5 until 7, we have another hackaway. You guys will continue. So from what the mentors gave you feedback from, you guys will then implement those feedbacks into your solutions. You guys will be continually working on those solutions within the hackaway from 5 until 7. And then from 7 until 8, we'll have what we call the FNB Vibes with Caesar Zim. Awesome. He'll be in studio giving you guys, the chill out zone with the Creative Space media team. Giving you guys some, great music, some conversations, hyping you guys, on this journey that you guys are taking. Sometimes, you need to really have a little bit of a break. You can't work too much. Have a little bit of a step away for a couple of minutes, just to enjoy some chill moments, some chill vibes. I know for sure that Caesar Zim will bring those vibes for you guys from 7 until 8. And then from 8 until 11:59, you guys will then continue working on your solutions. Please don't sleep. You guys are not here to sleep. You guys have sacrificed your weekend to really be zoning in on bringing innovative solutions. So from 8 o'clock until 11:59, you guys will be continually working away on those solutions. All right, so let's look into Sunday, the 26th of October. So we're looking into the schedule on that particular day. So we'll be looking into you guys yet again waking up in the morning, posting those pictures of your sunrise, letting us know you guys have been working with a cup of coffee. Cup of coffee can be there. I hope the personal trainer is not hearing me say cup of coffee because he wants you guys to drink water. But I think you guys need a little bit of energy. So the coffee, he might say it's okay. I hope so. Right then, so tomorrow from 9 until 9:30, I will then introduce the proceedings of the day with giving you a recap of what happened yesterday on the 25th of October. And then you guys will be continuing from 9:30 until 10:15. We'll be then looking into the Business Model 101 for tech businesses. I'll be joined by Misho Nguveni, the CEO of Geek Culture. And then from 10:15 until 10:30, we'll then have the next steps and submission guidelines. We'll have in studio Yolisa Dumezweni. She's a conductor of research and development at Geek Culture. And then from 11 until 11:59, that's midnight, you guys will then continue to work on those powerful solutions, and then you guys will be submitting those beautiful solutions for the judges to look into that with your teams. Right, so I hope you guys are excited as well as I am. So let's look into the submission criteria. So number one, you guys have to profile your team. So teams must be profiled, right? So hit the green button on the dashboard on Sonke when you guys have profiled your team. And then when we look into the business and security, right, submit a lean business canvas and a secure software development of life cycles. And then these must be fillable under the My Team page, right? So make sure that you guys have that in depth. And then when we look at the progress update, please, guys, all teams, are also required, to give a midnight update. Look into the progress of your hackaways. What you guys have been working into. So it's important to give, a midnight update, right, of your team's progress. And of course, hit the green button on Sonke on the My Teams page. And also, please do not lie about your process, right, or your progress. Don't lie, be honest, because it's important for the mentors to really understand where you guys are currently at. So if you're at a 25% level by midnight, it's important that you guys, honestly say, guys, we are literally at 25% of what we are working on. We need help on so and so. That it makes it easier for the mentors to understand, what they have to give you guys to push you on this particular journey. And then final submissions, right? So final submissions on all materials, presentations, the decks and demo videos. You guys need to present all of that. Your presentations, your decks, and your demo videos. These will be done through the green submit button on Sonke, right? So you guys need to make sure that you guys see that on the My Team page. So the submissions will be on Monday, the 27th of October. All right, so let's take note of the following ways you guys can ask for help, on Sonke to request assistance during the hackathon. So number one, you guys need to make use of the assistance call, right? You make use of the links available on the dashboard on Sonke, and also send out your email addresses too. And also secondly, post on the discussion channels to get advice from the geek community. So post on the discussion channels to get advice from the geek community. We have a huge, asset of mentors available for you guys on these next couple of days. And also thirdly, please do make use of the I need help button or the need help button under the My Teams page. And also use the engage mentor button on Sonke. So use the engage mentor button on Sonke. This is for all of you guys that are needing, assistance. I know for sure, I need to say this. A lot of you guys are calling me on WhatsApp and texting me on WhatsApp saying, guys, I need Karabo, I need, help. How do I find a team? I don't have a team. I think this will literally help you guys, to get assistance that you guys need. And also to submit your material, please do utilize, this QR code to help you guys submit your material. All right, so this is important, right? There's an extraordinary competition running, right? So you guys need to access the App of the Year website and open up an FNB account and keep it active until the 1st of November. You guys can stand a chance to win your share of 75,000 Rand at the FNB App of the Year. So please do scan the QR code. Make sure you guys are opening up an FNB account. Keep that account active and running until the 1st of November. You guys can stand a chance to win your share of 75,000 Rands, man. You guys could win something. I hope you guys are really opening up that account. All right, cool. So I hope you guys are excited. We're about to get into it. Stay tuned. We've got an extraordinary video up next where you guys can look into the highlights of what took place last year at the App of the Year Awards. And then coming after that, I've got the personal trainer in studio, Owami. He's going to take you guys through an extraordinary course of working out, getting those muscles pumping and ready. I know you guys have been sitting on your, computers, desktops, feeling a little bit crunched up. Owami's going to bring that energy and that vibe to get those blood flowing and that energy circulating. But let's take a look at the video from last year's App of the Year Awards.
We are young, we are floating like the sun. We are golden, we are young, we are floating like the sun. We are golden.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 13th Annual App of the Year Awards, proudly brought to you by FNB. Is FNB in the house? Yes. My name is Donovan Goliath. I will be your host this evening. As you know, this is Africa's biggest awards evening for tech and app developers. So tonight it is all about identifying and rewarding innovation in the tech space, specifically mobile apps.
Back to me.
For us as FNB, we've come almost 360 degrees. So just over 10 years ago, we won this award, and we're delighted to be back sponsoring the platform that gave us that boost in our own app space. This year, we had 803 apps that applied to participate in this adventure. And I think it's testament again to the fact that there's a broad base of people who are really looking to ply their trade in a really exciting market.
We are floating.
So in the category rather best consumer solution, the winner is Checkers 6060. Iris app. Genu. October Health. Well done. Every single one of these right here, every single one deserves an opportunity, deserves this prize right now. But where my hand stops, that is exactly who the winner will be. Ladies and gentlemen, FNB App of the Year 2024 goes to none other than Matric Life! Yes, man! Matric Life does it once again! Come on! Yes! Here we go! Give that young man all the praise! Absolutely well deserved! What a beautiful, beautiful evening!
How's it to the Hackathon team? Welcome to your favorite coach, Coach O. Let's go through a quick warm-up. I know you guys have been crunching away, so let's get you nice and warmed up. So what I want from you guys is just going to move from side to side. Just keep it in that fashion. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me a count of 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's move those hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Move it the other way. 1, 2. Let's go. Move those hips. You've been sitting, so stand up. Let's move those hips. Keep it nice and low. There we go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I want you up, standing. Just feet wider than shoulder width apart. And then you're just going to go into a squat. Just up there, keep it nice and fresh. There we go. Move those fingers as well. Let's crunch away. Come on, team. Let's go. Nice and easy. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. All right, team. So I want you on there. So I want you to pump those knees up. Push those knees up. Keep it going. Just on the spot. There. Keep it going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Quick feet. Keep it there. Keep it there. Keep it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I know you can't grab the keyboard, but it's all good. I want you to go into a bicep curl. Nice and easy. Keep it there. Squeeze on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice and easy. Okay, let's go into a squat again. Keep it there, shoulder width apart. Nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Push away. 5. Hack it away. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go into the high knees again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Into that bicep curl. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more round. Let's go into a squat. Shoulder width apart. There we go. Go deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. And 10. Into those high knees. Push them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. And 10. Grab that keyboard now. Come on, let's go. Bicep curl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. And 10. Okay, take a breather. There we go. Take it all in. We just went through a workout. Okay, we're gonna go into our second lap. So we're gonna go into a lunge. So I want you to create some space for yourself and just keep it there. Into a lunge. 2, move those legs. 3, nice and easy. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Move those fingers. 10. Nice, good job. I want you to stretch that back again. Nice and easy. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Move it the other way. 1, 2, move that back. 3, 4, and those hips. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hackathon rock stars. Into a lunge again. 1, there we go. 2, nice and easy. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 more. 8, 9, 1 more. And 10. All right, team, let's move those hips. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3. I hope you can feel the heat. I can feel the heat. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's keep it at 2 rounds for that one. Let's go again. Let's move the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's move those arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more and 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep it going. 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. And 10. Let's go back to this movement. 1. Just keep that back rolling. Move it from side to side, making sure that it's nice and loose. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. One more time. Let's move it forward. 1. Move those shoulders. 3. Keep that chest out. Proud chest. 7, 8, 9. One more. And 10. Move it back for me. Let's go. 1, 2. I'm sure you can feel those rear delts firing up. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, team. I want you to move sideways into a side lunge. Keep it there. Nice and easy. There we go. Keep it going. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Once you're still in that movement, take it to the side, squat, move it to the other side, and squat. That's 1. Other side, that's 2. 3. Keep those legs fired. 4. 2 more. 5. 1 more. And 6. Okay, let's go into a side lunge again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. And 10. Into the squat. Find your center. Move it to the side. Other side. That's 1. Let's go. 2, 3. Come on. 4. 2 more. 5. 1 more. And 6. Okay, let's go back up to that movement. Let's go side. 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful stuff. Keep it there. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, into the squat. Find your center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's go into the marches. Hands up. Keep it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful stuff. Let's go into we're gonna work on your obliques. Keep it there, just there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Raise your hands up. Come on, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. And 10. Let's go into obliques. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. And 10. Back to the top. Come on now. Let's work those abs. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Back to the obliques. 1, 2, 3. There we go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. 9. One more. And 10. Okay, let's go into a cool down. Nice and easy. I want you to take everything in. Focus on your breathing. Stretch it out. Raise your calves. Keep it there. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. And 5. Back into this. Reach for your toes. It's fine if you can reach your toes. Just hold your shin. Hold it there. Focus on the breathing. Come on. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Other side. Switch legs. Reach. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. And 5. I want you there. Go in. Reach. Just hold it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I want you to stand back to the top. Reach on your toes. 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful stuff, team. Well done to everyone. Heck along, guys. Cheers. Have a good one. All right. Woo! That was
man.
fire.
That was amazing. Listen, I see that you were sweating.
Yeah,
you were pumped
yeah.
up. I still feel fresh.
Okay.
Because I'm very fit.
Yeah, I can
Man,
see.
thank you so much, man. I hope all the developers were utilizing this workout
100%.
session just to get those blood flowing. Man, guys, let's go on social media and thank
Yeah.
Awami for that
Woo,
work.
woo, woo, woo.
Brother, all the
Thank
best.
you so
yeah?
much.
Thank
Cheers.
you so much.
Have a good one.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
guys.
Woo, man. Hey, I'm feeling fresh. All right, cool, guys. The show is just getting started, man. So right now, I'll be joined on the platform. I've got Rob McLean, the CEO of App Developer Studio. Mr. Rob. I am good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm done for now. We'll see you guys tomorrow, I guess.
Listen, Rob, thank you for joining us. First and foremost, where are you joining us from?
Grab the water. Thank you.
KZN. Hey, Midland. Listen, Rob, I know that you and I are going to talk later on in the panel discussion. Cannot wait for that. But I'm going to let you take it away. Enjoy, have fun. All right, cool.
Perfect. Good morning to everyone. I hope you had a good night's sleep, but I doubt you did. I'm Rob McLean, CEO of App Developer Studio. We, as our name suggests, design and develop apps. We've been doing it for 10 years. We've launched over 150 apps, and we've actually been lucky enough to win the App of the Year award
Let's see what you and I are going to talk about.
categories in 2022, 2023, and 2024. So I saw one of our apps in those videos and felt a little burst of pride.
Okay.
So today I'm going to talk about what makes a brilliant app. 10 checklist here. It needs to offer clear value. It needs to solve a problem quickly. Delightful UX. Performance. It's got to be reliable. Users have got to trust it. Onboarding that sticks. This is a really important one. You've got to teach one core action and then show the user that it succeeded and celebrate that. There needs to be a feedback loop. There needs to be a business model behind it. I think we'll talk a little bit more about that in the discussion. Platform fit and it's got to be supported, and there's got to be quality. So let's break that down a little bit. You could have got all that from ChatGPT. In fact, you just did. ChatGPT wrote that entire last slide word for word. So I think that's quite an interesting thing. Let's see if ChatGPT makes its own checklist. Does it succeed against its own criteria? And ChatGPT is the fastest growing app of all time. So if they're doing it, well, they must be doing it well. So let's go and take ChatGPT and show how they hit the marks. So think about ChatGPT. Does it offer clear value? Yes. You get advice from the cleverest experts in the world for free. Immense value. Delightful UX. If you actually look at ChatGPT, that is ChatGPT. Imagine the largest, most successful, fastest growing consumer application of all time, and 95% of the screen is white, empty. So everything is on one screen. There's a simple prompt, what can I help with? And it just gets people to not be distracted, to get them to engage and see the value of the app immediately. The performance, yeah, ChatGPT can be slow, but if you think about it, it's explaining to you as it goes what it's doing, so it doesn't feel slow, and you don't mind waiting because you know the quality of the answer is better the more thinking it does. It's reliable. It explains what it's doing, and it does share its sources. In terms of trust and privacy, I say it's a bit of a mixed bag. Like, people do over trust its answers. It does hallucinate. It does make stuff up. It's getting better at that. So people actually over trust it, but there are concerns about the privacy, it training itself on your private information. Onboarding that sticks. There is no onboarding. The best onboarding is no onboarding. It's one page, it explains itself, and I think Uber is another great example of this. It's an immensely complicated thing that Uber does, connecting people to a network of drivers, working when they're going to get to you, when you're going to get there, but it's all on one page. It says where to. You type in your destination, and then it just walks you through that journey of how you're going to get the value. So I think that's really important, is if your app requires complex onboarding, registration, etc., you potentially need to really question itself. It should explain itself on the home screen. There's a feedback loop, so I mean, the answers are always improving, features are always being added. Recently you can talk to it and it'll talk back to you. I think OpenAI doesn't always get it right. ChatGPT 5 has got a lot of negative feedback, but I think they know the direction that it's going to go. So a lot of the changes that they've made is about agentic AI. So they are also changing people's behavior by predicting actually where the market's going to go. A sustainable model, I think there's a bit of speculation about this, whether they've never made money, they're not forecast to make money for 10 years. But yeah, that's a bit of an open question. Platform fit, so you can access it not just through the website, through the app, but there's a whole ecosystem. So, third parties, companies are integrating with ChatGPT. So there's a whole ecosystem around it. Support and quality, the beauty is it actually supports itself. You can ask how to do stuff within ChatGPT and it will answer it itself. So I think, yeah, the reason that OpenAI and ChatGPT has been such a success is it's delivering on its own checklist. So I wanted to also talk a little bit about tips, because I've basically just presented to you what AI has generated. So from my experience, from our experience of building so many apps over so many years and participating in hackathons, here's my list of tips to think about in the next 24 hours. So using AI is not cheating. I used it just now to create this presentation. AI will not take our jobs, but developers or your competitors in this competition who use it better than you will. So you should be using it for brainstorming, for advice, maybe helping you write user stories, actually writing code. We use Cursor a lot, but there's many other platforms. And if you know how to, you can also use it to do testing. Have a plan. Detailed user stories at the beginning are critical. Everything hangs off them. If you don't know what a user story is, go Google it or ask ChatGPT. But unless you get those user stories agreed up front, your application will not connect. It will not be cohesive. Everything hangs off them. Start with sketching or designing, and don't do development until you've actually designed the thing, technically, but also visually. Do one thing well. I think this was mentioned earlier and yesterday. Start with the problem statement. Write your user stories. Select the core user story, the one problem you're solving, and put 70% of your effort into that. Doesn't need to be world-changing. It just needs to solve a real problem and do that well. Show value quickly. So question every step between the user starting on your app and actually getting value out of it. So do they really need to register at the very beginning? Do they need to get in the home screen and click somewhere else or tap somewhere else to get to the screen where the magic's going to happen? Probably not. Like, just get them on and using it. They can register later. They can see the other things that the app can do later. Focus on the UX, especially the home screen, but show the love through UI. So depending on what your app is doing, thinking of cohesive color, creating credibility, trust, passion, fun, excitement with your UI. We have an entire design team because we built beautifully elegant, technically clever apps that failed because they were ugly. Decide on your team roles. Do you have a leader? Do you not have a leader? And divide up responsibilities, maybe by feature or by domain. So maybe you have a designer, you have a front-end developer, you have a back-end developer. And then people must focus on their own thing and complete it. Don't try and code on the same code base at the same time, all crowded around one computer, because you'll do groupthink, it will not be high quality, and multitasking is your enemy. Check in regularly. So I think people are working on their task, but you must come back together regularly. How are you doing? Are you on track? Are you facing any blockers? Is there anything I can help with? If you are working on the same code base at the same time, use branch management. Otherwise, you're going to have poor quality. And at the end, when everything comes together, it will potentially be very buggy. So if you don't know what branch management is, hopefully you do, your developers, you need to go find out about how to do it. It's super critical. Allow time at the end to test, and test throughout. Test once you've built that main user story, test it early and iterate upon it. And have fun. It'll show in your output. If you've had fun, if you've worked well as a team, if you've got that passion, that will show itself. And by the way, yeah, don't sleep. That's me.
We are young, we are floating like the sun. We are golden, we are young, we are floating like the sun. We are golden.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Rob McLean, for that beautiful presentation. I hope all of you app developers found that session engaging and informative. I know for sure that a lot of you guys are still working on your beautiful solutions, and some of you guys are taking the time out just to watch this beautiful telecast, and I hope that you guys are finding these sessions informative and engaging. All right, so awesome. Right now in studio, I'm joined by an extraordinary individual, Ayande Zwane. She is the CFO of
FNB Nav.
FNB Nav. And we're going to be talking a little bit about FNB Nav and the offerings that FNB Nav offer on the FNB platform. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I am so good. I know that you are bubbly and you are a morning person. That's what I'm thinking.
Actually not.
No, listen, man. It's extraordinary to have you here. Obviously, to talk a little bit about, FNB Nav. This is an extraordinary platform where we have young people who are literally working and stuff. Just a little bit about the importance of what they are doing now. How do you think you can just motivate them just to keep pushing, just to keep working on those beautiful solutions?
Yeah, so I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me. And I'm really, really super excited to be talking about Nav and how it can inspire others and what the actual core of Nav is about. So just a bit of a insight on how Nav started. It started back in 2016. And the whole idea around Nav was really helping South Africans navigate their lives. The business of life is what we like to call it, and not just banking, right? So Nav is actually on the FNB app. And it's really built centered around our customers and the communities we serve, and helping them thrive and helping them live better. And we know in our country what the challenges are, and I think financial literacy is the biggest part of what we see this app as in terms of contributing. And it's really the cornerstone of FNB's innovation strategy. And that I think is quite the inspiration, especially internally with our team. I think our team is very tech heavy with developers as well. So they're always excited to be innovating new ideas and find new solutions that really solve for customers' needs. And that's what the passion around it is really seeing the difference that your solutions make for customers.
I like that. Listen, you talk a little bit about the importance of financial literacy, and obviously we are in a space where, we have a lot of, young people, who are pushing so much on their, codings, their purpose, who are not really understanding the importance of money and also how to make money work for them. So just a little bit about, the offerings that Nav offered. Do you mind talking a little bit about that?
Sure. So the key offering and how we started actually was with Nav Money. That is showing so much activity. To date, we have over 5.7 million customers engaging with Nav Money. And that is the cornerstone and the center of actual financial literacy and helping people become more financially independent and resilient. Within Nav Money, we've got smart budget tools. So that helps our customers stay on track with their finances, know how they can stretch their money, know how to save better. And that has around 1.2 million smart budgets that have already been set up. We also have a My Net Worth tool, which is super cool. We were excited when we launched this one. It gives customers the full view of their balance sheet. So when they look at their assets and they look at their debt, they see where their net position is and how we give them the tools to say, listen, you want to grow this balance sheet further, here's some cool offerings, or here's a good life cover for you to make sure you're protected and your balance sheet is protected. So the balance sheet capability is super exciting. And with the financial literacy element, we've got a money coach tool that really gives these content, these tips, and it's all gamified, right? You get a few badges when you get a few content and questions right. And while you play with the money coach, you actually start learning more about what it means to be more financially independent. How do you actually manage your finances a lot better? Nav Money is quite a key one for us. And with that, we've also got Nav Youth. And it's that's our baby. We just recently launched Nav Youth.
Awesome.
So that is centered around younger generation, the young guys from 18 to 35. There they get proper financial content and education tips on how to manage their finances. They're starting up in their careers, young graduates. How do we hold their hands and partner with them from a first car home buying experience? We are putting together tools and features that are really there to help the young ones because we know they are the ones for the future and we want to grow them. So Nav Money and Nav Youth work very closely together, but more centered around the younger generation from a youth perspective.
I like that. Does the platform cover, the importance on investing, understanding credit, good credit, bad credit, good debt, but bad debt, do they get also that from the platform?
100%. So Nav Money does offer that as well. We also offer a credit status tool that helps customers know where they are in terms of their arrears and how they can improve. That's the key thing. It's more personalized on what your standing is from a credit perspective, not only looking at your FNB products, but holistically from the bureau, what is it reflecting and how do we make sure your credit improves and you become better? We also give you tips on investments. We've got a savings goals capability. You know, people have big dreams and we want to be a part of those goals and their dreams. So we've set up a tool that gives them savings goals. They say, okay, in 10 years, I want to travel to Zambia with my family, or I want to buy my first house or my first car. And we really guide them to get towards that savings goal. And we've got so many savings goals put together, and it's so amazing to see customers actually reaching their goals and knowing that we've been a part of those journeys.
Listen, guys, you know, a lot of you guys are probably wondering, listen, how do I, you know, obtain money, you know, how do I make money work, you know, for itself? Listen, there are so many extraordinary platforms out there, as she's saying, speaking about the importance of NAV, the platform that comes from FNB. Listen, guys, let's always, you know, inform ourselves, keep ourselves, you know, in spaces where we get to understand and, you know, have the importance of, you know, literacy, financial literacy, knowing, you know, the importance of money. Listen, my sister, before you leave, I want you to look into that camera and just really encourage just the young people on getting to know money. You know, just really, guys, seek that knowledge and information on how to use what you have.
Yeah, I think there are so many tools out there that are available, and the beauty around NAV is that we really want to be there when it matters the most, right? It's really about being contextual and guiding customers on knowing their financial standing. And a part of that is not just, we need you as individuals to take ownership and accountability as we partner through this journey of understanding your money and managing your finances better. So reach out, get on the app, talk to someone, but take control of your finances. Do not just let it lapse, because it happens today. Every cent that comes in can translate into the future and can bank for your future. And there's a lot of nuggets and a lot of tips that we can offer as NAV to guide you in understanding your money a lot better. But it's all about taking control and educating yourself from an investment and a financial literacy perspective.
Ayanda, listen, thank you so much for this beautiful
Thanks for
conversation.
having me.
Yeah, listen, man, we now know NAV. Most importantly, we also now know you. Listen, thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you so much. By the way, there's a lot more in NAV, guys, that's there out there, but please do check it out. Go in the FNB app and you'll see what we have to offer. A lot more exciting solutions to come. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. This is Ayanda Zwane, the CFO of NAV. Listen, guys, we're going to be joined in a panel discussion shortly after here. We're going to be speaking about, you know, how to turn your idea into, you know, a viable tech business. And I'll be joined by extraordinary individuals. Rob will be yet again in this panel discussion. Hope you guys are getting ready just to get some more information. See you guys soon. All right, awesome. All right, so now I'm joined in studio. I got Rob McLean yet again, the app developer studio CEO. Mr. Rob, sir, yet again, how are you doing, sir? I'm good. Thank you so much for having this conversation with me. I know for sure before you just had a beautiful presentation, and now you and I are going to talk at length, right? Rob, obviously we know this is the hackathon, so I'm just going to have a brief, small conversation with you. Let's talk a little bit about, just the importance of this platform or this ecosystem of a hackathon, right? We're speaking about an unconventional approach. Not a lot of, powerful businesses, not a lot of people understand a hackathon, where we look into utilizing, ways of bringing sustainability and development, in an unconventional way, such as a hackathon. Let's speak a little bit about why do you think a hackathon is important, Rob? Mm. Yes. Yeah.
Productivity comes at. Like if we just do something and wait for somebody else, and then somebody else wants to review, and then it goes to the next page, it's very slow, and everyone loses interest and momentum. So it's about an intensity, it's about teamwork, and I think pressure is the mother of creativity.
Really, really true.
I hear
Listen,
you. I'm good, man. There you are.
all right, awesome. So, Rob, when we also speak about, a hackathon, there's so many assets or facets into it. Besides, oftentimes pitching your idea to investors, there's so much that can go into it where we understand the power of networking, right? App developers can also network with other extraordinary, participants and also mentors or the sponsored individuals that are there. So why do you think we should encourage young people to really, participate in a hackathon where they can actually just learn beyond what they think they know?
Exactly. Yeah, speaking to more people, brainstorming with people, bouncing ideas off people, making connections that maybe some go somewhere, some don't. But actually, I've been in this industry for 15 years, and I am amazed by how many conversations that I maybe had 8 years later that are lodged in my brain, and I go, okay, I know the guy for this. And it's that kind of network that you build of other people,
Yes.
and potentially they can introduce you to even more people, and potentially get the funding that maybe your company needs as well.
Yeah, beautiful. Listen, Rob, we're also now joined by an extraordinary individual on the platform, which I think it's important for us to introduce. I've got Kit Van Ziel. He's with Knife Capital. Kit, are you there?
I'm there. If you guys can hear
Yes,
me,
I
see me,
can
I don't
hear
know.
you, sir. I can hear you, sir. Listen, sir, I'm joined right now by Rob McLean, the CEO of App Developer Studios. Just had a brief conversation with him. We're about to get into this discussion on, how can we turn, the idea into a viable tech business. But before we get into that, Kit, where are you joining us from?
So I'm from Cape Town. So, we've got offices in Cape Town and in London.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just Saturday morning in Cape Town, just came back from a surf.
Beautiful. How's the weather that's out in Cape Town?
Yeah, it's a bit overcast, but it's not as windy as it was for the Cape Town Marathon. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's always the case. Listen, man, I can see you now, Keith. Right now, Keith, we are literally underway day 2 of this beautiful hackathon. As I had a brief discussion with Rob right now on the importance of a hackathon, I think we just need to really emphasize on the magnitude of the awesome ideas that can come from young minds. I often allude, Rob and Keith, that a lot of people often point to people in the governmental spaces, in the political spaces as game changers and path makers, but we have extraordinary young minds, in Africa who are putting their minds to use to solve real world issues and problems using the power of technology. Keith, first and foremost, real quick, why do you think such platforms and spaces like a hackathon are really important to allow the ecosystem to thrive?
Oh, look, I think it is all about momentum. The more people have access, more people that can collaborate and just build something that's real and useful in a very short period of time. We're a venture capital firm that deal often with small businesses and high growth startups. But at some level, that's sort of a very long game. So I think a hackathon and a community that comes together and basically just have purposeful fun is really makes it real and tangible.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, Kit and Rob, now we're going to be discussing on the importance of this panel discussion, right? I'm going to ask, first and foremost, Rob, when we talk about a hackathon, there are steps that go into it, right? Obviously, that idea will then be transformed into a minimum viable product, a prototype. But obviously, there are processes and steps that take, the course to have that happen. So, Rob, I'm going to ask you. So, once the Hackathon app is built, what's the most important step to move from a functional prototype to a market-ready product?
I think get user feedback. So you've got to get people to get their hands on it, engage with it, and you need analytics to be able to see how they're using it, where they're blocking, where they're stopping, speak to them, find out what would help, what would improve it. So the next step would be to get that in the hands of real users, rather than assume you got it right first time and building up the Rolls Royce.
Yeah, beautiful. And then also, Keith, from your perspective, when you are, evaluating an early stage tech startup, what are the 3 key factors that make you set up and pay attention beyond just the app idea itself?
Well, firstly, the app idea or the product or service has to be awesome. I think that, many entrepreneurs don't realize that sort of you have to be in the top 20% of the 80-20 rule. The product has to be, and that's kind of Rob alluded to it. It needs to be, the UX needs to work. It needs to just ship it, but basically product awesome. That's basically table stake. Second thing is a large addressable market for that product or service. It goes without saying that to scale, to really get adoption and test it in the market, but you're testing it for rapid adoption. So, but in order to do that, the market can't be too niche. It needs to be large, whether it's for Africa by Africans or whether it's developed here and shipped all over the world in terms of a SaaS product, doesn't really matter, but large market. And the third thing is that the entrepreneurial team or the entrepreneurs need to be able to execute. So it's all about execution. So if any of those 3 elements are missing, if you think about it, if it's an awesome product, poor execution, it's not going to work. If it's an average product, beautifully executed, it's going to fail because the market won't adopt it. And if you have an awesome product and an awesome team executing like hell into a small market, it's also not going to scale. So awesome product, team that can execute into a large market.
So Keith, still with you. So you're speaking about, awesome product and also being able to execute, on that particular product. But also let's talk a little bit about, you can have a great, idea, right? But if it doesn't make business sense, right? If it's not really sustainable, oftentimes, the idea doesn't really go anywhere. So how important is it that the young people also need to understand, as much as I can have a solution, but does it also make business sense? Can it also move from just an idea or prototype, but also can be scaled? How important is that, Keith?
Well, it depends what your purpose is, but we often tell entrepreneurs that, an awesome product doesn't equal automatically an awesome company, and an awesome company doesn't automatically equal an awesome investment. So firstly, let's start with the product, as we say, table stakes. But to turn that into a startup or into a company, all the boring bits come in, like culture, HR, finance, all sorts of governance elements and poppy acts and, like things that you have to really build around this product. And then, obviously from where if you then want to raise funding to scale that into the market, assuming one wants to, don't always have to. I think it's a good thing if you can bootstrap it all the way through and own your company totally and without the external investors. But if you need investment, then things like valuation terms and those things come into play. So it doesn't always mean that a great company is always a good investment. It sometimes get lost in the process. But I think it is. I wouldn't say it's important. It depends what your true north is. Some entrepreneurs just love to tinker, put new product out in the market, license it to other humans that scale it, or through an agency model or whatever the case may be. It also could be that one is part of a larger team. So let's say you're part of the sort of open AI team or Google teams or whatever. Your true mission is to build awesome products for a big corporate, for them to scale. So it just depends where you are on the spectrum. I don't think there's a formula for hackers or for tech builders.
Awesome, thank you so much, Keith. Now, Rob, I'm going to ask you based on understanding that a lot of businesses or startups don't really oftentimes, expand beyond, 5 years. A lot of businesses end up failing. It's really difficult for them to really scale up or move from a startup, right? So I want to ask you, Rob, so what are the most common mistakes, that developers make, when they are designing their apps for scale? And then how can they, build for a real user needs one day?
Sorry, could I just repeat the question? Sorry, I didn't
cool.
catch the end.
Oh, okay, cool. So what are the most common mistakes that you've witnessed that developers make from designing their apps for scale? And then how can they now build for real users' needs from day one?
Okay, so thank you. I would say focus on understanding what that user need is, and just strip that down and try and solve that one problem. Don't go and overbuild, over-engineer, and overspend, whether that's like effort and development or spending real money on salaries for hosting, for example, until you've understood what the core need is and solved for that. Once you've got that, get the feedback, listen, change, expand, and only move forward when you've got product market fit, as they say. So don't spend all your money up front, and also don't think the job is done at MVP. It's an ongoing process. You're going to need money to sustain it. You're going to need money to market it, to change it, to pivot. So some people, and this happens a lot with our clients, and it's very frustrating, is they think that all the money they need is to pay us to build that app, and then they'll sit back and the money will flow in. But the job's just starting there. They've got to keep changing. They've got to be in it for the long run, and they've got to be willing to pivot, and they recognize that maybe they got it wrong, but somebody is using their product for something slightly different and interesting. Well, let's build that out. Being flexible, being willing to work hard, not just to launch, but for like a multi-year phase.
Yeah. And also, I want to ask you, Keith, I know for sure that entrepreneurs, right, they need access to markets, they need access to technical skills, but also they need access to funding. So if we look at such platforms like a hackathon that maybe, can give an opportunity to fund those, ideas, but how difficult is it for, entrepreneurs, app developers to get, funding for their, ideas or for their prototypes?
Look, unfortunately, the answer is very difficult in our South African ecosystem, and it is very unfortunate, because actually, weirdly, there is quite a lot of money chasing, ideas and startups and so forth, and then on the other end, we've got the most amazing entrepreneurs and developers, which are very importantly extremely capital efficient, meaning that because of the scarcity of resources in Africa, South Africa, our entrepreneurs have grit, they have capital, they have to be capital efficient. And later on, when they get through the humps of raising funding, that those are the qualities that lead to big exits and lead to amazing, building amazing companies. At the seed stage is where we are talking about here. Seed investment just means basically you've got an idea, you almost have a product market fit, or you might have some early adopters, and you can see that this hockey stick is coming. There's a big gap there. If you somehow manage to, through an angel investment, which is a private investor, or maybe some grants, or maybe some programs that one can win some prizes and cobble together some seed capital. There are some government programs that assist as well, but if you can get over that hump and get to the next phase, which is sort of Series A, which means it is working, you actually have proven out a beachhead market, which is a test bed of a small target market, you have a bit of a team together, then it becomes never easy, but it becomes more possible too. So and then from there onwards, you can international funding and so forth becomes almost it's the weird thing, almost when you don't need it anymore. Then funders are knocking at your door. But there's a lot you can do. As I said, to get into these type of communities, people invest in people they know, and that doesn't mean this secret society. It just means you have to get out there. You have to collaborate. In the VCs in South Africa specifically are very accessible. They are at events and so if one is get to know the funders, do due diligences on them, get into the system, and use platforms like these and opportunities like these to sort of get yourselves and your team known. And in the end, it's a bit of a cliche, but if you want funding, ask for advice, and if you want advice, ask for funding. So basically, just ask. What should I do? How should I build? What is my next phase? And a lot of entrepreneurs do that very well. For remembering that our product, what we get as funders get excited about, is the entrepreneurial journey. So take us on that journey. Send a newsletter. This is where we are in the process. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of companies in South Africa that does that very well, and I read that with great gusto. And there's always an ask at the bottom, but the ask is more: does anyone have access to a big corporate in Johannesburg, or does anyone know a good front end developer that we could be hiring? And at some point, the ask is, I need 5 million rand for seed funding, whatever. But yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Keith. And then Rob, back to you. So based on your experience, right, in your particular line of work, how can then now our developers identify and test the right monetization model? Whether free minimum, subscription, or enterprise licensing.
It depends a lot on your product. You need to work out where the value is being delivered and to who, and then you charge for that. But you can't just charge without giving the person the opportunity to see the value or the potential value that's coming from it. So we build apps that are subscription, that have in-app purchases, that have advertising. Sometimes it's free, but the money's being made by a third party because they're saving costs. So the FNB app would be an example. It's free, but it's digitalizing a lot of stuff for the FNB customers, so they're not going into branches. So the actual monetization model is very different. There's no kind of killer solution for that. I would suggest, if you're doing a classic app monetization model, offer something that's free with a premium tier that people can understand the value, they can engage, they can do a few things, but they pay a little bit extra to do more stuff, to do different stuff. So that would be like a premiumization model, or a subscription model, but offer 30 days free. So there's a free trial, and then you upgrade. But there's other models where you're enterprise, you're building for an enterprise and you're licensing to them. So you need to understand kind of the core value and who gets that, and build your monetization strategy against that. And sometimes the monetization strategy comes a little bit later. You can launch your MVP, your POC, see who's using it and how, and then you work out what they would pay for.
Yeah, I like that. And then Keith, back to you. So I want to ask you. So you spoke a little bit about seed funds, and also we had it in length on the difficulties of finding investment, especially in the context of Africa or South Africa. But I want to ask you, Keith, what advice now would you give founders on choosing between bootstrapping, angel investors, or venture funding, and also when is it the right time to raise capital?
Yeah, look, it maybe sounds weird coming from a VC, but if you can bootstrap, which basically means self-fund or revenue fund the company for as long as possible, that is first prize. You do exchange autonomy and control, and it's an exchange. It's not give 15 or 20% of your company away. You exchange that for capital and, well, what KNIFE stands for, knowledge, networks, and funding. So and the knowledge and the networks actually more important than the funding. And you can gather knowledge and networks without having to get funding in. The right timing is basically if this is a fast moving space. Tech apps, SaaS type businesses, and just look at what AI has done over the last 3 years in this industry. But it's more to accelerate the speed to execution, and if you can bootstrap and get to a point in 5 years time, and you can get to that same point in 2 years or 3 years time with some additional funding, and if the puck would have moved, like sometimes time is not your friend, so it doesn't help building and bootstrapping, because by the time you get to the 5-year mark, the market would have moved. Then I think it's a good quid pro quo to say, look, we can build something bigger And there are many studies to show that a high growth business does actually, at some inflection points of the business, need to professionalize. And it's a typical old growth model of saying, the entrepreneur is or the tech entrepreneur is sometimes a very interesting animal, in inverted commas, of really love to tinker, love to do to code, love the product side of it, but the business side of it is maybe a bit kind of boring and so forth. So sometimes you need funding to get a financial CFO or financial guy in, or marketing team, or whatever the case, so that the entrepreneur can focus on what they're good at. But yeah, my short answer is it's distractive, because you have to spend a lot of your time on the road and pitch decks and all that. This isn't a developed ecosystem where funding is quick. It takes quite a while. And all of the above, but not to sound too negative. I mean, I think when there's a good partnership opportunity, and when you meet the right investor that actually is interested in almost become an extension of a co-founding team that can actually bring much more than the funding. One entrepreneur said to me recently, look, like they always hear this from funders, so they assume the funders are going to bring no value over and above the funding, and any value they provide over and above the funding is a bonus. But it's quite easy to ask a few of the underlying companies that the funders have invested in, what value did they add, and ask the funders, what are you good at, what are you not so good at. It's a partnership. But if it's a partnership, it's the right thing. Sometimes necessity, not to be, not to be funny, but sometimes it is difficult to sustain oneself, pay the bills and build a beautiful product, because it takes time. And if it's not revenue generative, then what do? You can side hustle, and a lot of people consult on the side, or all the rest of it. I think my best advice is, if you are actually working in a big corporate and you do have aspirations for startupness, I suppose build your product in evenings and over weekends while you have a constant salary slip, and then jump ship, at the right time. But yeah, bootstrap, there's a lot of value in that. Some of the best companies that we've seen, in South Africa, all the way to exit, have some of them have actually not taken funding, and some companies we dearly want to fund, and we actively pitch them as investors, like, hey guys, are you sure you don't need some funding now? They're like, no, we're good, we profitable, and we revenue fund. So that's good when the power dynamic is different, when you're not desperate.
I like that. Just to stay with you, Keith, real quick before I go to Rob and we just close up this beautiful session. Now, Keith, how should now young founders think about balancing rapid growth with long-term sustainability, especially in South Africa or the African tech context?
Yeah, look, it depends what vertical you are in. There are some real good tailwinds across this continent when it comes to certain industries, but also you got upwardly mobile, digitally savvy youth market that is going to need things like education technology, payment technologies across different currencies and different systems, health tech. So there is that. What is your purpose? What are you building? Without sounding too MBA 101, but like your long-term sustainability is really like what are you building in 10 years shifts? And that saying people often overestimate what they can kind of achieve in a year, but underestimate what they can achieve in 10 years. So I think you have to balance this rapid growth scaling bit, and sometimes just be a little bit more patient. It's the advice I would give to myself, is people get anxious and like, this is taking longer, it's difficult and all that, and suddenly then maybe pivot or take funding, where one sometimes just has to do not nothing, but sometimes have to just wait for the market to catch up. Because usually in digital disruption, I mean, if you are truly disrupting, you are also breaking new ground, and the market sometimes needs to catch up a little bit. But yeah, it's always good to ask yourself, what is your long-term purpose and vision? Like, well, you're not put on this earth to play with ones and zeros. You put in the earth to disrupt the healthcare access to the last mile, or whatever, whatever that is that you do. Just stay true to that true north, and build the phases as you go, but and don't be too impatient. I mean, these things take time.
All right, there you guys have heard it from Keith. Now, Rob, I'm going to ask you real quick. So, what opportunities or what opportunity exits for startups to what opportunities exist? Sorry, for startups to collaborate with established players or corporates, and then also how can these structured partnerships to accelerate growth without losing ownership or control?
I mean, so we have a lot of clients, startups come to us, single entrepreneurs. We have different engagement models. So, for example, they've got an idea, but they're lacking a skill. So we have a whole team, whether it's design, front end, back end, AI people. So sometimes a company like us can augment a team and offer some advice.
Yeah.
I think if it's a developer who wants to grow themselves, apply for internships or apply for entry-level jobs. So get your foot in the door. We the whole time have internships in our company who come on, they learn some of the formal skills that you require to actually build a scalable app, whether that is around security or privacy, project management, testing type skills. You can get those experiences and disciplines by working within a bigger company. And then sometimes you then can take those, apply it to your side hustle, and actually use it and scale it to the point, I think, like Keith was saying, where you kind of, as a side hustle, you confirm you've got product market fit, and then you can resign, focus on it. And I think that is a really important point, is you can get only so far with a side hustle. Unfortunately, a lot of our clients think that they can endlessly just not focus on something. It'll take care of itself. When you go ready to launch, you need to be 100% focused. This will not take care of itself. You need to dedicate yourself to it.
All right,
If
there you
I
guys.
can,
Yes.
just quickly add, South Africa's got a very unique advantage, and it's actually rooted in the BEE codes, but more so much in the procurement codes, where companies actually get points. Or if you think about how awesome it is for our younger companies, when the bigger companies like the Discovery Health, the FNBs and so forth are very much incentivized to do business with smaller startups, So I think from that perspective, there are many opportunities, programs, accelerators, hackathons, and it is arguably easier to get a POC test case going with a South African corporate. Most of us entrepreneurs are building B2B businesses, business to business businesses, just because our B2C market is quite fragmented in South Africa. Doesn't exclude B2Cs, but I'm just saying. But in the B2B market, remember that we've got a very established stock exchange. We've got many listed corporates, and all of them have to do business with small with SMEs.
Yeah. Listen, Rob McLean, Keith Van Zyl, thank you guys so much for just being part of this discussion, looking into helping the young, app developers, having, an idea on how to turn their app into a viable tech business. I truly hope that all of you app developers found this, session informative. Please do head on social media, and let's thank Rob McLean and Keith Van Zyl for this beautiful session. Guys, sir, thank you guys so much.
Good.
Have an amazing one.
Thanks, man. Stay bye.
Good.
Woo! All right, guys, that's really extraordinary for this particular day 2 of the FNB Hackathon 2025. Listen, man, so much going on, so much information that we've had today. I hope you guys found this really informative. Listen, we're not really done for today. You guys are still going to be doing a beautiful hackaway throughout the duration of the day. Also, don't forget at 2 o'clock until 5 o'clock, you guys will have your hackathon war rooms. It's important that you guys do go onto the war rooms. And also at 7 o'clock tonight, you guys will have an FNB chill out session with Caesar Zim and the Creative Space Media team. Right? You guys need to make sure that you are there for that chill out space. It's about to be extraordinary, man. Listen, man, we're doing a lot. A lot is happening. And don't forget, guys, you guys need to keep pushing. Utilize your mentors on Soncare. Don't forget to ask questions. Utilize the assistance that we took you guys through. Ask questions as much as possible, and you guys will get feedback. It's really, really important that you guys do that. All right. Don't forget that you guys will have a submission deadline day on Monday at 12:59. That's Monday at 12:59 will be the submission deadline. And also for assistance, there's a place where you guys can get assistance, as I did say. All right. And also, we're running this competition, which is really important. You guys need to head over to the App of the Year, website and open up an FNB account and keep it active until the 1st of November. You guys can stand a chance to win your share of 75,000 Rand. Head over to the App of the Year website, scan the QR code, open up an FNB account. Keep that FNB account active, guys. Keep it open until the 1st of November. And you can stand a chance to win your share of, 75,000 Rand. Guys, also don't forget, please be consistent. Energy, keep it buzzing on social media. Don't forget to hashtag FNB AOT Hackathon. That's hashtag FNB AOTY Hackathon. Put the pictures there. Tag also FNB. Let's make noise on social media. Let's let the world know what is happening at this beautiful ecosystem. All right, cool. So this is what's going to be happening. Tomorrow, I'll be here at 9 o'clock. I'll be joined in studio yet again by, the gymnast. He's going to keep you guys fit. And then we'll give you the proceedings of what's going to happen tomorrow. So I hope I see you guys tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. And also, I'll be joined with Mr. Tiane in studio. See you guys soon. Peace.